this is John at FFR Trading, and today I wanted to give you a short introduction to one of our traders that we represent here, Wendy Kirkland, and take a look at just a few of the programs that she offers. We'll start with her new Alpha Trend Moves service, and then we'll take a look at her Gemini trade service, and finally her Merit Paycheck Triple Q entry-level service. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with us here at FFR Trading has been evaluating trading strategies for 15 years. So all the traders that we represent have gone through an 8-step certification process. And that process includes being referred to us by a trusted third party. We work with strategy developers and traders who are currently licensed or have been licensed. We put them through an interview process and we get their rules for their strategy. In step number 5, it says 10 years here, but it's actually now 15 years of actual trading experience. All right, so we're looking for a market veteran, someone who's been through the ups and downs in the market and has come through very successfully. They're then providing us with a back test of that strategy. And finally, we get their brokerage statements going back at least 3 to 5 years. If they can pass all that, and not many traders out there can. Step number 8 is we then go ahead and run the strategy on a live test account, making sure that it performs as anticipated, that the trades are executed properly before we ever release that strategy to our clients. So Wendy Kirkland has gone through that certification process. She went through, I think, early in March, April of 2020. In order to qualify. So let's take a look at some of the programs that she offers and the performance of those programs. For those of you who are not familiar with Wendy Kirkland, Wendy's story is a little more unique in terms of, the majority of the traders that we represent have former institutional backgrounds. Wendy basically, is just like you and me. I mean, she didn't have that institutional background. She owned some gift shops with her family in the North Carolina area. They got wiped out by a flood, and she had to find another way to generate income. And she found that through the options market primarily. She had a lot of success trading options herself, and then went on to start teaching others. Now, here are some of the books that she's written. Some of you may be familiar with these. All right, let's get into some of the strategy. All right, the first strategy that we're going to take a look at is Wendy's new Alpha Options Trend Move service. All right, Alpha Trend Moves basically is looking on a daily time frame, and she is looking for either her P3 long or what she calls her P3.5 short pattern. If you're not familiar with those patterns, they are great high probability trade setup patterns. And based on the setup, she will either buy a call if it's a P3 long or buy a put if it's a P3.5 short pattern. And one of the great things that all our traders do provide is all their educational material if you want to learn how to trade that strategy. So some of the educational material that she provides is the Alpha Trend Move book, her biweekly market outlook, a link to her chat room website so you can get your questions answered regarding the strategy, get support, all there. She does live teaching sessions in the chat room on Monday evenings, and those are recorded so you can view those at your leisure. And the trade alerts that will be sent directly to your email or text, and also recaps on what trades were open, closed, or what is currently being held. All right, here's an example of one of the trade alerts here. You can take a look at that. Now, she does recommend for this service you have $7,500 minimum to trade with, and she's allocating no more than $1,200 per trade. Now, this service averages about 5 to 10 trades per month, which is trades a little more actively than some of the other services that we'll take a look at. But let's take a look at the performance now that we've looked at some of the trade academics of the program. So here is the performance summary of the Alpha Trend Move service. And these figures go from January of 2018 through August or the early August in 2021 this year. And these trades are based on a $7,500 account size, allocating just $1,200 per trade. And these are non-compounded numbers and after expenses. So basically the $7,500 has turned into a net profit of $55,000. And that's a return of about 555% on capital. an annual average return of 155%. If you're looking for the monthly return, 13%, or about almost $1,300 per month on average based on a $7,500 account size. Wendy, like I said, it's a very high probability trade setup. You can see she wins 75% of the trades. The average win is $557, with the average losing trade just $388. So that's what you want to look for, and that's what's going to give you the nice smooth equity curve here. Now, one of the things I want to point out, this is quite a smooth equity curve, but every strategy goes through drawdown. So you have some drawdown here, some more drawdown here, but then it goes on to a new equity high. All right, so you've got a kind of a flat period here and some drawdown, then goes on to new equity high. So basically the drawdowns are temporary. And that's why we typically deal with programs that go from either 1 year or 2 years, because you need time if the strategy goes through a drawdown to recover and go on to new equity highs. Now, let's take a look at some of the recent trades and the performance for 2021. So here is that same trade summary here. And you can see below, these are all the trades, right, that make up this summary here. So again, we're going back to January of 2018 here. Right, that's the first closed trade. But let's go down to the trades for this year in 2021, and that starts right here. So January 8th was the first closed trade for 2021. You see that's a $223.40 profit. And the running total on that $7,000 or $7,500 account there is now at $48,691, right? All right, so you can see the profits and losses. Next trade brought in a $1,400 profit here. Next trade a $403 profit. Now here was an $817 loss. $462 profit, $570 profit, $323 loss. She went on a nice series of winning trades there. All right, and that was basically between April and May of this year. And then the last closed trade that we have here is August 4th of 2021 here, so not too long ago. And that was a $593 profit. So the account now, again, based on $7,500 account, allocating $1,200 per trade, is now sitting at $55,503. So that's about $6,800 in profit. Now, if you started with a $7,500 account balance, and through August here, you've generated $6,800 in profit, that's a 90% profit during that 8 month period. Not too bad. Now, the important thing to note here, even though this strategy has generated some nice profits this year, not all strategies will be in profit at the same time. Some may be in drawdowns while others are in profit. And that's important to note, because what we want to do is create a portfolio of strategies. So you don't just want to have, let's say, one of Wendy's strategies. You may want to have 2 or 3 of Wendy's strategies, because each one may go into a drawdown period. And if that's the only strategy you have, and let's say you've been in drawdown for a few months in that strategy, you're not making money. In fact, you're losing money or giving back, any profit that you made. Whereas if you had several strategies working together, those other 2 strategies may be in profit while the one is in drawdown. So that's why we want to create some diversification. We can also diversify, between traders and strategies, and also different markets as well, because we do offer strategies in all the different markets, from commodities and index futures to Forex and so on. Now, to kind of drive that point home, let's take a look at Wendy's new Gemini trade service. Now, this also utilizes the P3 strategy based off a daily chart, and the P3.5 strategy utilizing calls and puts. She has a watch list about 60 different companies, big name companies like Bank of America, Microsoft, UPS, and so on. All right. And this one, again, account size suggested $7,500, allocating no more than $1,000 per trade. And this one trades a little less frequently, 4 to 6 trades per month than the Alpha. And also it is distinguished from the Alpha service because you see our Gemini enters specific trades earlier than the Alpha. For example, it's and stays in trades until what she calls the end of the adult strength stage. So the specific trades usually last a little longer and capture more of the price moves since they get in earlier with the Gemini service. But let's just take a look at the performance summary here for Gemini. Now Gemini also goes from January of 2018, and this is through June of 2021. And these again are based on a $7,500 account size, allocating $1,000 per trade. After expenses, non-compounded, it's returned $71,000 during that period, and that's a return on capital of 712%. So that average annual return is 204%, which is a little better than the Alpha Trade service, and the average monthly return of almost $1,700, again based on a $7,500 account size. Win percentage very close, 74%. The average winner, $522, where the average losing trade is $326. Again, a nice smooth equity curve. It does have its drawdowns. In fact, you can see we're in a drawdown at this point currently. And that's why we want to have multiple services, multiple strategies running at the same time. So when something like this happens, when this particular strategy goes into drawdown or is kind of basically flat, all right, you've got other strategies like Alpha and the next strategy that I'm going to show you, which is her Merit Triple Q program. Now, Wendy's Merit Triple Q service obviously only focuses on the NASDAQ ETF, the Triple Qs. Now, this is based on a $7,500 account size. This is allocating no more than $2,000 per trade. All right, and this is after expenses, and this goes back. This one's been in service a bit longer. It goes back from January of 2015 through July of 2021. So we're talking over 5 years of trades here, and a net profit. So basically $7,500 during that period has turned to $47,000. That's a 472% return on capital after expenses. The average annual return, 73%. And a monthly average return of $607 per month on a $7,500 account size. You see the win percentage is a little less here, 63%. With this says this average winner is obviously that was a typo there. But if they had the right number in here, the average winner is larger than the average losing trade. But look at this equity curve. It's a lot choppier, although overall the curve is up. In fact, we are in a very nice upward move in the equity curve, and we're at new equity highs with this service. So you see, if we can put together a package of services or a package of strategies where you have more than just one. So if you were just dependent on Gemini, well, you'd be flat, pretty flat for the year. But if you have the Qs, you add the Qs, that's gone on to new equity highs. If you add Alpha, that one's doing well, okay, and it helps to balance out your portfolio. Right, and that's really what you want to accomplish there. You want to, between strategies, smooth out your equity curve. Now, if you do have questions about these or any of the strategies that we offer here at FFR Trading, you can contact us directly, 832-404-2420, or support@ffrtrading.com. We hope this was helpful, and we look forward to working with you. Till next time, this is John with FFR Trading.